I feel like Kirk Cousins. And no, not the Kirk Cousins that played against the Steelers this week. I'm talking about this Kirk Cousins that retorted to the media.
You like that? You like that?
Now, that wasn't quite an NIU level upset, but the Patriots did come away with the win from the inside of a pumpkin. The Pirates are going to win me my money. We go over week 1 and 2 of the NFL and college football, respectively, and much more. 119 backwards is 9/11. This is episode number 119, and today is 9/11. Welcome to Hoagies and Pierogis.
Live from central Pennsylvania with your host Ian DiCarlo, this is Hoagies and Pierogis.
The ski stash! The ski stash!
Welcome to the Big Ten.
Patriots go drink, man. Let's go!
Someone in the Pirates media, I believe it was Jason Mackey, said that something biblical needs to happen in order for the Pirates to get rid of Sheldon or Charrington, or both of them. He said that a couple weeks ago, and now I'm surprised that the 10-game losing streak was not that biblical event when you were in the thick of a wild card race. I will never stop bringing that up this year. They got no-hit by the Cubs last Wednesday, and were held hitless through 6 innings last Saturday by the Nationals. I mean, come on. If that's not horrendously, biblically bad, then I don't know what is. Charrington says he fully expects Shelton to be the manager in 2025. Now, Charrington did make that statement about Cruz staying at shortstop, and then 8 days later said that they were moving him to center field. So hopefully maybe, what is it? That he said that yesterday. So 7 days from now, maybe Shelton's gone. But, I mean, to be honest, they really have not been doing bad in September so far. And will almost certainly hit that over of 75.5 wins since they're now sitting at 70 with 16 games left to go. You never know with this team. You really don't. They took 2 of 3 from the Cubs, split the 4-game series with the Nats, and just completed the 3-game sweep against the Marlins today. So I think they'll get there, even with Kansas City up next, then St. Louis, then Cincy, then Milwaukee, then the Yankees to round out the season. If they go 5-11 over these next 16 games, I will be so mad. This season-long bet coming down to 1 loss. That would infuriate me, and I would probably never do a future on over-under wins again. So yeah, they're actually doing fairly well. Now let's talk about Skeens for a second here. I'll give it to Skeens. He must be listening to Hoagies and Pierogis because, my God, he has loosened up so much, and he's showing his personality way more than he has. He's not as stoic anymore, and he actually, during his start on Tuesday against the Marlins, was counting up his strikeouts.
Yeah, they're looking up there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah.
And I thought that was badass. We need this kind of personality in Pittsburgh, and him being stoic was probably not for the best in the long run. I think he needs to let loose, have a little bit of fun, not dread his time in Pittsburgh if they don't spend the money around him. That hurts me to say. That really pains me to say that. But he is currently in a very close race for Rookie of the Year with Jackson Merrill. And Jackson Chourio is actually rocketing up right behind him. It is fortunate that Merrill is hurt. But what are we doing here? Merrill and Chourio are very good rookies on very good teams. This is not the very good rookie on a very good team award. Skeens has been nothing short of historic in his first year, and I think will win Rookie of the Year if he gets a start against the Yankees and dominates them. I really hope he does. I didn't check to see if it lined up yet. Let's actually see if it does here. So he started on Tuesday against the Marlins. That puts his next start on Monday against St. Louis, Saturday against Cincinnati, and then probably his last start comes against Milwaukee. But that is on a regular 5-day or 5-game stretch. They might add a day of rest in there, have him start that Sunday against Cincinnati, and then have him start the last game of the year against the Yankees. I think that's a good plan for him. And I think that's one that could definitely win him Rookie of the Year. Now, I don't think that they're worried about him placing top 2 in Rookie of the Year finish because they haven't shut him down yet. If they were really worried about that, he would have been shut down at the beginning of the month. He got the Pirates rookie record for strikeouts in a season. He notched his 143rd to break it with his first strikeout against the Marlins. And he's sitting at a cool original 151. Gotta K 'em all. That felt so fucking cheesy. But yes, everything is going decently well for the Pirates right now. Everything's turning up fine. And hey. If someone's coming to PNC Park and is not from the area and they ask for a food suggestion, do not recommend them fucking crab fries. What? Are you kidding me? Crab fries. Put some real crab on them and then we can talk. But I'm not paying $12 for a large fry with Old Bay on them. That's not even exclusive to PNC Park. You can get crab fries fucking anywhere. Because they're fries with Old Bay on them. No, just no. Don't suggest that. Okay, let's get into football here. Let's get into some college football. Penn State. What were you doing? 34-27 against Bowling Green. Are you serious? At home? At home. But what the fuck? That's so bad. 34-27. Bowling Green was up for most of the game too until the third quarter. It was 24. It was 24-20 at halftime, and then Penn State scored in the third quarter to make it 27-24. But what are you doing? Singleton had basically the same exact line he had against West Virginia. 13 carries, 119 yards, and 1 touchdown. And they were relying so much on their tight ends, Penn State was. Warren had a great game, 8 receptions, 146 yards. How can you go in and have such a, I don't know if I should say such a good game. Basically, outside of that first quarter, such a good game against West Virginia, and then come in and shit the bed so hard, your home opener. They weren't focused on Bowling Green at all. Luckily, they have a bye week this week to kind of get their shit together, so I don't know what the fuck that was. I was going to be really pissed if they lost against Bowling Green after beating the shit out of West Virginia. All right, let's run through the top 25 of things here. 48-3, 56-0. And then we get to our game of the week, the one that basically everyone was waiting for. Texas, Michigan. Texas came into the big house and sorted the shit out of Michigan, took care of business, handled them 31-12. Michigan scored that touchdown in garbage time, so it was 31-6 through the third quarter. Texas handled them like it was no question the whole game. I took them at minus 7.5 points, plus 100 at 8 a.m. This is why you need to wake up at 8 a.m. because it was minus 6.5 at minus 100 at like 11 o'clock. So get those bets in early on Saturdays. Look for those plus 100s. That was golden. It worked out last week for Notre Dame. Not this week. And it worked out this week for Texas. So look for those plus 100s. I'm telling you in the spreads. I'm telling you. Alabama. I don't know what was going on with Alabama. They were looking rough against USF. And like I said last week, this was like a popular upset pick for people. For a good reason. It was 14-13 going into the fourth quarter. Former Bama players have signed a total of $1 billion worth of NIL deals this offseason, and were having a hell of a time against USF until DeBoer pranked them all after the end of the third quarter that they'd have to give it all back if they lost. And they ended up scoring 28 points in the fourth quarter. They ended up winning 42-16 after all South Florida could muster in the fourth quarter was a field goal. And then this one. So unsuspecting, no one ever even thought to look at this game. Notre Dame was a 27.5 point favorite against Northern Illinois at home in South Bend. Well, motherfucker, Notre Dame just paid $1.4 million to get embarrassed by NIU. That was very bad. I mean, it was bad on both sides, honestly, but it was even worse on Notre Dame's side because they were playing the same level of football that NIU was. Fumbles everywhere, 4 and outs. No one could get the ball moving at all. The refs were fucking both teams over. It was a mess. And you have to feel good for NIU's head coach.
I'm so proud of our kids, the coaches, just everybody. They believed. They believed. And we came here and got it done. They listened to what I said. I told them all week, we don't need luck. We just got to be our best. And they was their best today. And we was able to get it done. You know, all these guys that have been with our program, been through the ups and downs, and to continue to fight, you know, it's like they my kids. I'm happy for the adversity to push through. You know, no matter the situation, I just couldn't be more proud. I'm sorry. We got a veteran team, a bunch of guys that have been through a lot of different things, and they work together. Like, we still are in college football. I know it's a whole bunch of other things with the transfer portal and NIL. We still have a family, and they believe in that family and doing things the right way. And I couldn't be more proud of them.
That scene with them in the locker room when he held up his fist and everyone was cheering, and then they all surround him, was like a scene from a movie. Oh my God.
Listen, what you can do with the power of belief and working together and just staying through it, through thick and thin. That's what we are. That's a team. That's a family. That's guys that want it. I told you all week, we did not need luck. We did not need luck.
That has to be. I don't know. I don't know if I would call it the upset of the year yet because it is Notre Dame. That had to have happened at some point. It happened way earlier than I thought it was going to, but it was kind of expected. Let's be honest. All right, Ole Miss takes care of shit 52-3. Gotta ride with them. 42.5 points to cover. They got it. They're my season-long favorites. Like I said before, I'm going to ride Ole Miss all season long. Oregon, again. What are you doing playing all of these unranked teams so close? Boise State is a little bit more understandable, but you had to get away on a last-second field goal to beat them 37-34? Excuse me? Missouri won 38-0 against Buffalo. They're the only team to have shut out both of their opponents to start out the season. But yeah, Utah beat Baylor 23-12. Miami crushed the shit out of Florida A&M 56-9. USC won 48-0. Tennessee crushed the shit out of NC State. That was also another easy bet. It wasn't plus 100 on the spread, but it was minus 8.5 points. And just judging based off week one, North Carolina State had trouble against Western Carolina, and Tennessee looked pretty damn good. But Imaliva, again, he had 2 interceptions this game, but he also had 2 touchdowns, and it looks like he's throwing like Skeens level fastballs of footballs out here. It's impressive. Oklahoma comes away with the win after getting the safety in the fourth quarter against Houston. Oklahoma State came back for the win in overtime against Arkansas. That was a great game. Arkansas was crushing them. They were up 21-7 going into halftime, and Oklahoma State stormed back. That was a great game to watch. Kansas State comes away with a win against Tulane, 34-27. LSU, 44-21. Kansas gets upset by Illinois, 23-17. Arizona won. Iowa State beat Iowa. I was set on this one. I was like, no chance. Iowa with an offense is scary as hell. What do they do the first game after I say that shit to bed and only scored 19 points? Can't score it all in the fourth quarter. They lose 20-19 against Iowa State. Louisville's crushing it. They won 49-14. This was a good pick. I had Syracuse to beat Georgia Tech. I don't know why. I guess I trust in Kyle McCord. 381 yards, 4 touchdowns. That's pretty good for Syracuse. And Clemson beat the shit out of App State 66-20 to round out the top 25. So then we go into the top 25 rankings here. Let's go to the AP poll. I don't know if I'm too surprised by this. Tennessee went up 7 spots, jumped both Oregon and Penn State. Oregon went down below Penn State, and Penn State is just stuck there at number 8 because they honestly, Penn State deserves to move down too. I think USC should be ahead of them. But yeah, Missouri up 3 to number 6. They also jumped Penn State. Notre Dame down 13 after getting upset. I'm surprised they're just not ranked at all. That's true Notre Dame bias. And Northern Illinois is number 25. I really wonder how long that will last. All right, yeah, but Georgia 1, Texas 2, Ohio State 3. Texas did move ahead of Ohio State after beating Michigan, which makes total sense. Everyone in the comments, well, all the Ohio State fans in the comments were like, what the hell? Why? Ohio State blew out their opponent. Dude, it's the first 2 weeks. They're playing no one. Meanwhile, Texas is smart and scheduled Michigan for week 2. Alabama 4, Ole Miss 5, up 1. Missouri 6, Tennessee 7, Penn State 8, Oregon 9, Miami 10. Good diverse top 10. I like it. Now, after doing that, I realized I did not go over the previews for week 3 of college football, so let's do that real quick. We got Kansas State, Arizona on Friday night. That might be a really good game, and it should be on TV since, yeah, it's on Fox at 8 o'clock on Friday. That's a good thing about the Pac-12 being dissolved. There are no more 10 o'clock start times. All of those teams that are coming over are starting at 8 o'clock now. That's really nice. Missouri against Boston College. I mean, take Mizzou. Mizzou's a 16.5-point favorite. Oregon State. I might take Oregon State, honestly. Oregon really has done nothing to instill confidence in me that they can beat an actual team. Notre Dame's going into Purdue. That's scary for Notre Dame. Oh, man. I might take Purdue. Notre Dame's a 10-point favorite right now. Oh, fuck. Michigan State's playing Prairie View A&M. What the fuck? I've never heard of them. The battle for Washington. How could I forget? Baby, it's the backyard brawl weekend. You have got to be kidding me. It's in Pittsburgh this year. 3:30 on Saturday. Let's fucking go. Oh, man. Almost missed that totally. Ole Miss is a 24-point favorite against Wake Forest. So, yeah, I have to ride them again. That should be easy for them. Georgia's playing Kentucky. Kentucky just lost to South Carolina, so shouldn't be any problem there. Matchup-wise, obviously the backyard brawl is probably the best game of the week. There's no doubt about that. Penn State has the week off, like I said earlier. So, yeah. Oh, man. Oh, I can't wait now. All right, let's get into week 1 of the NFL. Holy shit, so much happened here. And this is crazy. I was debating on going over this before college football since we had games on Thursday and Friday. Let's go over it in chronological order. Let's start with the Ravens and Chiefs. What a game. Lamar had a great performance. Who's the one that said he was going to rush a lot more this year? Right here. 112 yards on the ground. 122 yards on the ground. My bad. 16 carries. You're telling me right when I saw that he slimmed down, I was like, oh, he's going to want to run the ball more this year. There's no chance. And then the big, fantasy, whoa, what the hell's going on here? Mark Andrews had, I think 3 targets, maybe 3 catches or whatever it was. But Isaiah likely had 9 receptions, 111 yards, and a touchdown. And I'm going to say he was out. I don't think that was a touchdown on that last play of the game to try to tie it up. His toe was clearly out of bounds.
Fuck you, bitch!
Now, I can see the argument that was like, oh, well, his toe was a little bit raised up, even though his foot was flat. That little piece of the toe kind of sticks up. It was over the line, and his foot was down. I mean, even if he was wearing cleats, like the fucking asshole advice that Mahomes gave him, I think he was out. And honestly, what the Ravens should have been doing all game was just running the option with Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson. After the first quarter, it's like Derrick Henry did not even exist. I didn't understand his usage at all. And it was obvious that he was in to run when he came in the game. They need to get him involved in the pass game a little bit more if he's going to be effective. But Lamar, great performance, 27 fantasy points. He's the one that basically won me the game after I made some bad benches. Bad benches. Chiefs come away with the win, 27-20. They're dangerous. They're looking pretty damn good. Whenever you have to use Kelsey sparingly, it's going to be a good game. Rashee Rice went off. Xavier Worthy, 2 touches, 2 touchdowns. Are you kidding me? That end around that he had, like a fucking bolt of lightning. That was so impressive. That was really, really shocking. And, of course, John had him on his bench. The illegal formation penalties need to stop. They have to stop. Your head was 2 inches past the center's dick. Go absolutely fuck yourself, NFL. How is it unfair? If the defender can line up anywhere, they can rush from anywhere they want. Why can't the offensive lineman, within reason, line up on the line wherever they want? I don't get that. I don't get that at all. All right, Brazil, you guys got your football game, and I was absolutely not gonna watch this Friday night game because it was exclusive to Peacock. Come on, I'm not buying Peacock. Not doing it. I'm just not doing an NFL. You can go fuck yourself. No one is gonna ever want to play there again. People were pretty mad with like the field conditions outside. There was obviously the whole like, you can't really wear green outside of the stadium, which didn't make any sense to me. Everyone there was wearing green. I was like, wait, what's up with the warnings then? I don't know. No one got shot. Everyone was fine. The only person that got hurt was Jordan Love. Karma for giving him so much damn money. Are you kidding me? Oh my God. Initially, everyone thought he tore his ACL. He went down pretty bad. I don't really know what Jordan Davis could have done there. Yeah, he like held onto his leg and the guy kind of went high at him. And maybe that should have been a penalty. But it wasn't dirty. It wasn't dirty by any means, I don't think. So quit trying to blame it on Jordan Davis. It wasn't his fault. And it wasn't the turf's fault either. The turf honestly didn't seem that bad. I mean, people play soccer on it all the time and are completely fine. I guess it was a mix. It was like a hybrid between turf and real grass. I have no idea how that works. So yeah, immediately I had to laugh at Jordan Love getting hurt in the first game. Apparently it's only an MCL injury. They've been really kind of foggy on it. He's not going on the IR, so they're just taking it week to week. Malik Willis is the backup quarterback. So on the Eagle side, people were kind of going off. Saquon Barkley had 3 total touchdowns, 109 yards rushing off of 24 carries. Hurts actually looked pretty bad in the first half. He had 2 interceptions, but he ended up with 278 yards and 2 touchdowns. He only had 33 yards on the ground, and without Jason Kelsey in there, all of these touches at the goal line are being given to the running back. No more tush push every single time. A.J. Brown also had a good game, 119 yards and a touchdown. Devontae Smith, 7 catches, 84 yards. So if you're an Eagles fan, there's pretty much nothing to worry about after the slow start to that game. Oh, baby. Let's get into Sunday. I forgot. I really, really forgot how good it feels to want to win an NFL game and to be happy that your team won. The Patriots are 1-0, baby, off the back of Ramondre Stevenson and Keon White and Jacoby Brissett. What a game. Oh, let's go. Stevenson, 25 carries, 120 yards, and a touchdown. He had it on 3 receptions, which definitely helped me in fantasy a little bit, for only 6 yards, though. Brissett, only 121 yards passing, no passing touchdowns. That kind of sucked for Jalen Polk because I put Polk in my flex spot, but they never had to pass the ball, so it was just the Ramondre Stevenson show all day. Now, the Bengals were without T. Higgins. Do I think that would have mattered? No, I don't. I really don't. The Bengals are notoriously slow starters. And, oh, you bet your ass I put that fucking money on plus 7.5 for the Patriots. Didn't put my money on the outright money line. I was thinking about it, but I was like, no, I can't do the homer pick. The Bengals could not get anything going. Chase only had 6 receptions, 62 yards. The first half, he struggled even more because the first half, he was going up against Christian Gonzalez. Let's go. And then for some reason in the second half, they started just double teaming him and then playing more zone, which I didn't agree with. That didn't make much sense to me. I feel like if the Bengals would have scored a touchdown in the fourth quarter, the Patriots would have struggled. I don't know. In the fourth quarter, they struggled to move the ball, is all I'm saying. But the defense looked great, not showing any signs of slowing down from last year. A fully realized Keon White is going to wreak havoc on this league. 2.5 sacks, 3 quarterback hits, forced fumble. Oh, dude, that is why Bill Belichick drafted him. He is going to reach his potential this year, and people are going to be really surprised. No Judon, no fucking problem. And actually, you know what? Patriots, you had a good day. Guess who didn't have a good day? The Falcons and Matt Judon. Judon was getting bullied all day by Darnell Washington, and it made me so happy to see. He was getting bullied by a tight end, dude. A tight end. Washed. Judon is washed. Love it. Now, Bijan in that game, he did get me enough fantasy points, but he didn't have a touchdown, and he only had 68 yards rushing. I know that he can have more. I know that he can. But it doesn't help when your quarterback is standing there like a goddamn statue. Kirk Cousins did nothing. Absolutely nothing. That was so bad. It was obvious. Every time they were in the pistol, they were going to run it. Every time that Kirk Cousins turned their back to the defense knew he was handing it off. So fucking predictable. It looked more predictable than Arthur Smith did last year. And I don't know how. I really don't know how you can do that at all. I'm kind of glad that we ended up with Alex Van Pelt, because this is where the offensive coordinator that I wanted from the Rams ended up, because he came over with Raheem Mostert. Jesus Christ. Raheem Morris. The Steelers come away with an 18-10 win in which Chris Boswell got all 18 points for them. And Justin Fields, people are saying he didn't look bad. I don't know what they were watching, because Fields looked terrible. He was making terrible decisions. Oh, there's a receiver wide open 20 yards down the field, 15 yards down the field. I'm just going to run the ball for 7 yards. Why not? You're going to be wishing that you had Russell Wilson in there, because Fields is not the answer at all. Cardinals shit the bed against the Bills. Trey McBride should have had a lot more touches, and he should get a lot more touches because their starting left tackle, Jonah Williams, has been put on IR for the rest of the year. So he's a pretty good left tackle. So I feel like they're going to run the ball a little bit less than they did against the Bills. But also, Marvin Harrison, I think maybe 3 targets, 1 reception for 4 yards. Was that it? Oh, that's not a good sign. Just a bunch of designed runs in the first half. It's like, why would you not center your offense around the generational wide receiver that you used the number 4 pick on? Hello? Like, is anyone home? So yeah, they blew that game 34-28. This was probably the most incompetent game I saw all day on Sunday. The Titans and the Bears? Holy shit. The first half was all about the Bears looking like they were stuck in the preseason. Caleb Williams was overthrowing everything, wasting time running around in the backfield, just doing what he does. You can't do that shit. I think he learned that he cannot do that shit on Sunday. But he was still gifted with the win after Will Levis just decided to shovel pass it to the cornerback as he was going down for a pick six. That was embarrassing. That was probably one of the worst passes I've ever seen. The Bears come away with a win in that one, 24-17, and I thought the Titans were going to be something else. Turns out they're the same old Titans. Man, the Bears got lucky on that one. They're not going to have so much luck when they run into the Texans this week, though. And speaking of the Texans, they come away with a win against the Colts, 27-29. I feel like they should have won this game by a lot more. I feel like they kept the Colts in the game the whole time and let Anthony Richardson just kind of do whatever he wanted to him, just throwing bombs down the field, just taking it and running it at will. These look like high schoolers out there compared to Anthony Richardson. He is huge. It's scary. And hey, Anthony Richardson, you want to throw the ball to Michael Pittman at all? Come on. We're not going to be having these games where you're through like 4 passes in Florida. No, we have to have a higher volume here. Come on. Okay, the Dolphins come away with this win 20-17 against the Jaguars, but that's not the story at all. No one's talking about the game whatsoever. Although the handcuff celebration is hilarious. Tyreek Hill was arrested outside of Hard Rock Cafe Stadium before the game for careless. He was cited for careless driving at the end, but he ended up on the ground in handcuffs. I saw the video. First off, it did not warrant him getting thrown to the ground at all. That's crazy. But what's also crazy is him not rolling down his window, just keeping it down like as much as he had it in the first place. He had it down like 3 or 4 inches. Just keep it down. And the cop that dragged him out of the car for that's a little bit crazy. That's crazy. But he wasn't following their commands. What do you want him to do? I don't understand. I really don't get it. You have to straight up disrespect them. And we saw it all in the body cam. There was no egregious things that happened other than him not wanting to keep his window rolled down. So wrong on both sides. Yes, this could have been handled a lot better. Yeah, but yeah, Tyreek Hill still had 7 receptions, 130 yards, and a touchdown. Didn't affect him one bit. Oh, and this one was embarrassing for the Panthers. They lost 47-10 to the Saints. And what did the Saints do on their first play of the drive? Long-ass pass to Rashid Shaheed, who I drafted, and I was like, what's all the hype with him? Well, there's your hype. And then the last 1 o'clock game was the Vikings beating the shit out of the Giants. That's not good. Daniel Jones has thrown more pick sixes than he has touchdown passes since signing his contract. But Sam Darnold actually kind of looked good. I mean, you do look good when you have Justin Jefferson in there. There's no doubt about that. Vikings come away with the 28-6 win against the Giants. 4 o'clock games. I didn't really pay attention to the 4 o'clock games, to be honest with you. They were. I really can't sit down. I can watch the 1 o'clock games on Red Zone all day long. But I don't. The 4 o'clock slate of games on Red Zone are so hard to watch for some reason, and I really feel like I'm starting to fall out of Red Zone a little bit. I just need. It's nice to have one game on constantly, or just, switch between 2 and not 8. Chargers beat the Raiders 22-10. J.K. Dobbins had a great game. 10 carries, 135 yards, and a touchdown. The Seahawks beat the Broncos 26-20 with Kenneth Walker running all over the Broncos. And Bo Nix looked like ass. Bo Nix was bad. Oh, and before the Cowboys-Browns game, the Cowboys ended up reaching a deal with Dak to make him the highest paid quarterback ever by yearly average annual value. You have Burrow and Love at $55 million, and now you got fucking Dak Prescott at $60 million. He does not deserve that kind of fucking money. He does not. What has he won you? In his whole tenure with the Cowboys, what has he won you? $60 million a year? No. It's more justified than Love getting what he got. But we're not going to be paying Dak Prescott $60 million. That's crazy. This has to come back and bite teams in the ass at some point. an exorbitant amount of money. That's crazy. The Cowboys stomped the Browns. I don't know how the Cowboys were the underdog in this game. That made no sense to me. I don't know what people were expecting against a Browns team that has Deshaun Watson back instead of Joe Flacco and no Nick Chubb. Cowboys won 33-17, yeah. All right, Buccaneers, Commanders. Didn't watch any of this at all. Baker Mayfield had a game, though. 289 yards, 4 touchdowns. Jaden Daniels got 30 fantasy points, so that's pretty damn good. And he actually had 88 yards and 2 rushing touchdowns on the ground. So that's how he'll get there. And I'm going to be honest with you. I fell asleep before the Lions-Rams game. I don't know what it is. I think I'm starting to like college football a little bit more than NFL. I find it so hard to watch teams that I don't give a single shit about. I care about the Lions a little bit. My buddy was a super big Lions fan, and he actually passed away. It was probably about a month and a half ago now from a heart attack. So I do hope the Lions do well this year. I am kind of rooting for them a little bit, but yeah, Sunday Night Football. It's tough to watch since it starts at fucking 8:30. Lions come away with the win in overtime, 26-20. And has Jameson Williams finally come around and is he going to be the receiver that we all thought that he could be? We'll see. 5 receptions, 121 yards, and a touchdown. But to round out the week, we have probably what was the most anticipated debut this season. Aaron Rodgers and the Jets going to San Francisco to take on the 49ers. And no McCaffrey, no problem. The Madden curse has already struck him since it looks like he'll be out this week again against the Vikings. But, yeah, Brock Purdy didn't even have to do anything. 231 yards is all he needed, and he just handed the ball off to Jordan Mason. 28 carries, 147 yards, 1 touchdown. Didn't have to worry about a single thing. 49ers won 32-19. And it's same thing with Kirk Cousins that I noticed for Rodgers. Just both very, very stiff in the pocket. I don't know if Kirk Cousins a little bit more so than Rodgers. That Achilles injury, that must be damning. It really must have a lot more of an effect than I thought it was going to have on both these quarterbacks going into the season. So we'll monitor that throughout the year. See week 2. Let's see if there are any exciting matchups to look over. Seahawks who take on the Patriots. You love to see it. Always reminded of the Super Bowl. Lions Buccaneers, I think, is going to be a good game. Commanders Giants, the battle of suck. I think although the Giants did just look horrible. They have to be the favorite for the number 1 pick after week 1. Although, I don't know, the Panthers suck almost equally as bad. So, yeah, it might be Giants-Panthers right up there in the top again this year. Browns-Jags, Ravens-Raiders, Cardinals-Rams, blah, blah, blah. Bengals-Chiefs on paper was supposed to be good, but since the Bengals lost to the Patriots, I think the Chiefs are just going to run away with that. Chiefs are only favored by 5 points right now, so hammer that. Hammer them to cover that. That's crazy. The Sunday night game is the Bears-Texans. I think that will be a good game. I think the Bears... I mean, even without Odunze, and Keenan Allen actually sat out practice today too. What are they going to do? Let's see if the offense can get anything going. Because, I mean, it really was special teams and defense that beat the Titans. And then Falcons-Eagles on Monday night. That was also supposed to be another good game on paper. But after that performance against the Steelers, Falcons look like they're in rough shape. And last thing that I want to mention that was mentioned in week 1, Kendrick Lamar is going to be the halftime show performance for Super Bowl 59. Let's go. Hell yeah. I want to hear Not Like Us 59 times, please. But yeah, we've scrolled Twitter. I think I hit everything that I wanted to touch on here. And I'll watch Brady next week. I didn't watch him this week. But he was... I don't know if it was just me, but he was giving the audience the fuck me eyes. I was like, what? This is uncomfortable. I don't like this one bit. But yeah, I think that's it, everybody. Make sure to go leave a like, comment, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Hoagies and Pierogis is available wherever you listen to podcasts, Spotify, Apple, etc. And we'll leave you with this. Munch.
Rod Mailey said, man, what
A great communicator. His messaging day in and day out brings the players' perspective.